good morning, everyone, and welcome to another installment of our guest speaker series by Moonshot Jr., where we're committed to transforming curious minds. Today, we have with us Sonica, who is a life coach. So, she today will be talking about positivity in life and how that's important and how that can change your life. With a vision of transforming curious minds, we at Moonshot Junior aspire to empower young innovators to explore entrepreneurship, innovation, and provide them with a unique product development experience. Before we proceed with Sonica's session, I'd like to talk about our offerings a bit. The Innovator program follows a STEAM-based curriculum through and through, and starting from ideating a product to understanding what kind of resources go into making that product and then eventually launching that product in the market. This will be your journey. It's super interactive and it's outcome driven. Right now, we're available in 13 countries and counting, and we focus on combining science, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship skills throughout the Innovator program. At Moonshot Junior, apart from our other product offerings, these weekend group sessions are organized to spark your interest and provide you with an overarching idea of different topics like AI, robotics, arts, design, and well, today it's positivity. So a couple of instructions before we get started. Just so you know, this meeting is being recorded so that you can watch it later on our website at www.moonshotjunior.com/webinars. And um, if you have any questions at any point in time, if you want to share something, if you want to say something, there's a audio settings bar or a microphone icon on the bottom left corner. So let's say if you have a question, you can click on the raise hand icon and we can have you ask your correct questions directly to Sonica. And if you want to type out your questions, you can use a Q&A tab. You can click on that little Q&A button and you can type out your questions and we can read them out here. And alternatively, you can also type them out in chat. So whatever you like, every form of questions is welcome. And yeah, if you have any responses, if Sonica's asking you guys something, I highly encourage you guys to type that out in chat so we all can know what you're thinking and how it's going. And I think that's about it. So I will hand it over to Sonica now. Over to you.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, students. Welcome to a very special session of positivity. And Mihir would allow me to share my screen. And students, I hope all of you are doing too good. And I am here to tell you a lot of techniques today that how can actually can stay positive about everybody, about this time, particularly even the COVID times and the post-COVID times, how to deal with everything, whatever you're wanting. Mihir, could you allow me sharing my screen, please?
Yeah, I think you should be able to share since I gave you the co-host permission.
Okay, sure. So thank you, Mihir, for making it happen. And students, we start over here that how can actually we stay positive all the time. And it is a very important technique and a mindset actually to understand that even in the times when we are not feeling good or when our mood drips sometimes, what are the techniques that we can apply and how can we change our mindset to be very positive? So let's begin about it, and I will ask you a few things about that to do, which is think about your name, students, and I want all of you to write down your names with a prefix. Like, I'll give you an example. My name is Sonica, and I call myself an innovative Sonica or smiling Sonica. So, that is the way you can remember people and you can bring positivity every time into your life with your own name. So, go into the chat box and put up a prefix like you are a gamer Vipul, or you are a creator Vasu, or any of the prefix which you think is your best quality. Use your quality and use it as a prefix into the chat box, And I will have all the answers through Mihir letting me know that what are the students writing into the chat box. Students, I'm repeating again, think about the best quality that you have in yourself and put it across your name. Like Gamer Vasu, Innovative Sonica, Smiling Smiley. That
Okay,
way.
so we have some answers coming in. Gamer Lux and focused Karan and thoughtful Sanya.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, every time you are starting your day, always think about these prefixes now. Not only your name, but the quality that represents you at large, that gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of positivity. So, let us talk about now positive thinking. What is it actually? Positivity is the mental attitude that helps us to see good in everything. The tendency of being positive in life is positivity, and positivity is the major source of creation and help builds skills in all of us. Students, you'll be thrilled to know that when we have a positive mindset, we are more creative. And this is a worldwide research. So, as much as creative you are going to be every day, every time you start a new day, you're going to be more creative. That means you can actually increase your creativity by being more positive and giving a positive mindset to everybody around you. Going on to the next one, let us have two questions and analyze it completely. Is it possible to practice positive thinking in today's complex world? And how do you know that you are a positive thinker? Now, students, it is a very important question of your life, because every time we will think that we are indeed positive. But in fact, even if we think that we are positive, we tend to become negative or neutral sometimes when our mood is not good, when things are not going the way we want them. So let us analyze that how can actually we do that? Is it thinking, or is it behavior, or is it your attitude actually? Students, I will give you a quick tip. How can you know that you are a positive thinker? Students, think about all the qualities that your parents have. Think about it that they are loving, caring, understanding, passionate, cheerful, honest. Put it into the chat box. Which are the best two qualities of your parents which make you positive? Is it their love and understanding, or is it their personalities, or is it their understanding towards them, or they are cheerful towards you, they are very glorious, they make you understand things, or they are very hardworking? At times they can be very honest. Write down the two qualities that your parents have which make you positive at all in the entire family. Two qualities of your parents, students, of the thinking, of behavior, of attitude. It can be any of the qualities of your parents which you feel you really value and you want to imbibe those qualities in your personality.
Okay, so we have some answers coming in. Jaden, I want you to respond as well. Okay, so some of the answers we have is from Sanya, understanding and smart. Lux says irritating and nice. And Alana says responsible and fun.
Okay.
Um, Jaya says fun and hardworking. Karan says respectful, responsible. Ahmed says honest, hardworking, and Jaden says fun and playful.
So that's wonderful, students, that you do see lot of positivity and lot of positive qualities in your parents, which you also wish to imbibe in your personalities, and that lends us a very beautiful day. In the morning when you get up, as I told you in the previous slide, that you should think about your name with the previous prefix and two qualities of your parents that you want to imbibe in your personality. That way, you will develop a new outlook towards life. Every day will start with those qualities that you wish to have. You can be more understanding, you can be more compassionate, you can be more cheerful or fun loving as well, hardworking and honest as your parents are. So that means you have a positive mindset. In case if you're able to see lot of positive qualities in your parents. Going on to the next slide, this is very important, students. Let us understand our emotions first. It is important for us to express our emotions in order to draw positive emotions naturally out of them. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, students, and listen to it carefully. What feelings do you get when I'll talk about a few things? Now, listen to me. I am going to talk about books, football, snakes, storm, sketch pens, colors, weather, COVID times, work from home. Write into the chat box, students. How are you feeling about these words? How did you feel when I say about football or basketball? How do you feel when I talk about snakes? Which are the words that attract you? Are you getting attracted towards football, basketball, or some games? Or you like the word snakes or storms, which are a little dangerous to think about? Tell me your feelings in the chat box. How do you feel? Which are the emotions you connect to? Do you connect to the sports material more? Or you connect to the snakes? Or maybe colors or sketch pens? Or sweets or ice creams? What are you getting connected to? Relate your emotions to these words. Which words attract you more? Are these the game changing emotions, or they are certain very terrific emotions with snakes or storms or changing weather? Or they can be very beautiful like sketch pens or colors or sweets or ice creams.
Okay, so we have some answers coming in. Aryan connects to the word books. Ahmed connects to games. Sanya is all about basketball, snakes, and storms. Laksh says football and basketball and games. Uh, Alana says football and basketball and joyful things. Aryan says sketch pens. Um, Karan says happy when he hears about sports. Alana says cheesecake. Me too. I really like that. Jaden says ice
Okay.
cream, and Sanya says colors.
Oh, wonderful. Students, have you noticed that when I started talking about these products, suddenly there is an ooze of emotions inside you. With ice creams and cakes, we feel delicious. With snakes and storms, we feel excited. Oh, there's something we need to know. And when I talk about football or books or games or music or certain sports, that makes us drive our day. That means these things drive our emotions. So, images that make us feel happy, sad, afraid, and angry, they help us in letting our express our emotions. Students, to be very positive, it is very important to express your emotions first. Whenever you are feeling sad or whenever you are not feeling good, do not try to hide your emotions. Either write it into your diary or your notepad or your mobile or any laptop or any kind of a gadget, so that from your mind that negativity goes off, that alarm is taken off from your mind and it goes on somewhere into the copies of the notebooks. That way, when you will feel sad or afraid or angry, immediately your emotion will be diverted to that notebook where you will write down. If you can see that image in the screen, there is a boy who's writing something into the notebook, and then he's feeling very happy also. So whenever you have certain mixed feelings that you're not feeling good at all, immediately take a pen and a copy or a notebook and write down your feelings, so that Your mind get rid of those emotions immediately, and you have a capacity for positive emotions again. I'll go on with the third point. As we express our connection with the images, it is the time to make ourselves positive and develop a great attitude towards life. So, this is the beginning technique of being positive, that you begin your day with your name with the prefix as a quality, and think about more qualities that you wish to have from other people around you, especially your parents or any other family members. And the second point is, whenever you feel bad or angry or sad or afraid, put down your feelings into the notebook with a pen or pencil, and it can be certain colors also. That will give you a direct way to direct your emotions and understand also your emotions first. Going on to the next point is mental clarity and focus. Students, the mental clarity and focus, for that, positivity is the energy booster for developing mental focus and staying sharp. And now I will tell you something, that how can actually you do that. Students, what changes do you want in COVID times? Think about that. When we talk about mental clarity, there has been a shift in the entire pattern of teaching, in the entire pattern of learning, in the entire pattern of your gaming or your playing, also going out also. Think about two major changes which you wish to have during the COVID times or post COVID times, and also related to your hobbies. What are you good at? Think about your two hobbies and put it into the chat box. Tell me, what are your hobbies? Apart from learning and developing certain new skills, what do you wish to do? Do you pass your time with games, or do you cook also? Or do you help your parents in something? Or you are into craft, or you are into creative writing, or it can be cracking certain jokes also. Tell me, what are your hobbies, students? We will develop a mental clarity towards that, and we will bring focus from your hobbies as well. What are the hobbies that inspire you? A lot of
Okay.
hobbies.
We have
Yes, Mihir.
lots of replies. Let's see. Let's start with myself. I like playing video games in my free time.
Okay.
And Alana says basketball and cooking. And Karan says reading and video games. Sanya says sculpting, games, baking, playing with her pet.
Oh.
Ahmed says I play games and making some jokes. Okay, well, you want to hear some jokes, Ahmed? And Laksh has the same hobby as mine. He says he likes video games. Aryan says reading, drawing, cricket. And Jaden says games, baking, taking care of pets, and ice cream.
Oh, that is like a variety of hobbies people have, students have, and I'm so thrilled to know. Students, I'm going to give you a very important tip now through your hobbies. How can you be positive? Every time you take up a hobby, think about that one personality, whether it is in a game or whether it is in a craft or whether it is a cook or a chef. Who is the best in that hobby? Every time you feel dejected in life, or every time or any time you are not feeling good, think of that character with whom you associate as a hobbyist. Like, if I talk about any of the Hollywood actors, or I talk about the gamers, there are footballers, there are people who are very good in craft, or there are certain writers whose books do you read. So that way, keeping that character into your mind will always give you a lot of clarity, that even in the hobby time, in the leisure time, in the free time, you are able to adopt some interesting facts from the favorite character of yours. So you will draw a lot of mental clarity, that what do you need in life? You want to look like him, or you want to work like him, or you want to have something which you would generate, like you will be some creative activity which you will be performing like that character. So always keep focused that one particular character from your hobby world. And welcome to the hobby world and the focus drawing from there with respect to a particular character of your hobby. Now I will be talking about new skill sets. Students, we've already talked about how can we start our day with positivity, but those are the skill sets that we already have or our parents have. Now I will talk about the new skill sets. How can we actually bring new skill sets into our life? Feeling the positive emotions within lines up the entire day's frequency and helps us start looking at all the problems as possibilities. Now, I will take up an example. Supposingly, two people are fighting, two persons are fighting with each other. It might seem to be a real disastrous problem, but see it as a possibility that you have a tendency to solve their problems. That means you have a role. You can actually lead to a wonderful scenario where you can dissolve their problem and make them patch up for a beautiful beginning. So instead of seeing that the two persons are fighting with each other, see it as an opportunity or a possibility that you can make them work better. You can actually make them to patch up and solve their problems. That way, your mindset will change and you will start looking at all the problems as possibilities. Another quick tip I'm going to give you, students, whenever you have problems in your life, instead of saying that it is a problem, start analyzing it as a question. Ask yourself, oh, is it a hypothetical question? That means that might happen, which has not happened yet. Or it is a funny situation for you. Oh my God, two people are fighting and I can solve their problem. Or maybe when you are not able to solve any question when you are studying, ask yourself, oh my God, is it an interrogative question where you need more of clarity? Or is that possible that it needs more of the qualities to be spoken about? Every time you have a problem in your life, immediately ask yourself in the form of a question that is it an interrogative question? Is it a fun loving scenario? If not, and you like fun environment, let us transform into fun loving environment. So always try to see possibilities as something very beautiful that can have something of you, some of your creativity. So all the problems henceforth, students, start looking at it. What can be your contribution? I am giving you today a very important substitute of the word problem. Whenever you see a problem, say, oh, what is my contribution? What can be my contribution in this situation? Supposingly, so many guests have come into your home and you are still thinking, or the parents are thinking how to accommodate them. See it as an opportunity and ask yourself, how can I contribute? Can I help my parents or can I help the guests by welcoming them, by talking to them, by attending them? That means again, your contribution in the problem will lead to a great possibility, students. From today onwards, whenever you see that there is a problem, always think about your contribution directly. The moment problem word comes in your life, think about contribution, that I have to do something. I have to contribute myself into the situation, and the problem will go away in certain seconds or minutes away because you will be contributing your part to it. And the most interesting thing is that extra possibilities get shaped into actions. And this is the time to develop new skills. Always think about lot of interrogative questions that you ask to yourself and always link problems to your contribution. That way, positivity will lead to new skill sets. Going on with another slide. Students, you have learned two or three quick tips today. Getting up in the morning and then thinking about the qualities, applying certain traits, thinking about your favorite characters and taking them as a life example in your life. And then going on with the last tip that I gave you, that looking at problems as contributions. Now it is the time to congratulate yourself. Motivation or motivating ourselves to be positive. We must pat ourselves for accomplishments. Let us clap for ourselves. So, students, put it into the chat box how many claps you want to give yourself on a scale of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 claps. Students, clap for yourself. Put the number into the chat box quickly. Let me see. You want to clap one time for you, two times for you, three times, four times, or five times. On a scale of 5, clap yourself that you have the positive mindset and you see positivity in you, in your parents, around yourself also. Put up in the chat box how many claps.
Okay, so we have Alana saying 5, and Laksh says 5. Jaden says 1. Um, Alana says 3 again. Laksh says 55.
Oh,
Aryan says 5. Ahmed says 1. Karen says 4.
okay, wonderful students. I will be taking you to the next rounds where you will have the clarity. How can you give yourself one clap or two clap or three claps or four claps? Right now, whatever number of claps you have given to yourself, stay tuned to it and I will come to it. The best thing to train our minds is not to complain for a day. So if you are giving yourself one clap or if you are giving yourself five claps, it does not mean that you are less or you are more than anybody else, but it is about our mindset, surely. And assertive sentences can be a magic for our mental growth. Now, I will tell you what is assertive sentences. Every time you are feeling good, share it with people. I am full of energy. I am full of passion. I am full of fun games today. I am feeling very happy today. These are the assertive sentences, and also you will tend to share your emotions. Students, always try to share your emotions when they are positive, and when they are negative, then write it down into a diary on or a notebook or a copy. Again, I am giving you the tip, students, that when the emotions are positive, share it with the people around you so that they multiply. Everybody loves positivity and positive people around us. Whether it is your parents, your peer group, or your friends, they will love to hear that you are doing wonderful, that it is a wonderful day for you. And whenever this is something different, whenever you are afraid or nervous or have certain anxiety or do not feel good, or when your mood is not good, then the first thing that you have to do is to take up the pen or pencil and put down into that copy so that your mind is rid of all those negative emotions which are coming up. Going on to the next slide. Students, you see a lot of images over here. Pick up one image that attracts you the more. There is first image, trust your crazy ideas or push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Follow your dreams, they know the way. Always say yes to new adventures. A journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step. Positive mindset, positive vibes, positive life. Students, think, are the colors attracting you or these quotations are attracting you? Because these are assertive sentences. These are the sentences where you are going to have a positive mindset quickly. This is very important. You can make own assertive sentences. You can take a paper and put down one line over there every day. It can be the same line for the entire week, or it can be every day a changing line. So every time you have a assertive sentence, say it to yourself, repeat it to yourself, that positive mind, positive vibes, and positive life. or follow your dreams, they know the way, or push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Only you are going to take care of your life. Trust your crazy ideas. Whatever ideas come across you, try to generate more contribution from them too. That is the way to stick to it, that how can actually we be more assertive and more positive in life. Now, going on to the next one are quick fix activities. Students, these are very funny and very interesting activities that will keep you positively engaged. So, let me teach you that. Question answer rounds trigger a spark in us, and we are focused to respond immediately. Whenever you think that you are losing focus in the life, and I'll tell you when it happens. Supposingly, I like mathematics, and maybe I might not be too much interested in social science or history or any geography subject. Any subject which you do not like will not have a lot of focus of you. Whenever your focus drips, immediately start your question answer round in your mind. That, oh, am I not liking this subject? What am I supposed to like in it? Is the color fascinating me? Look at the book, look at the notes. Even if one subject, supposedly mathematics, you do not like, but take up the mathematics book and see what do you like in that book. If you do not like the question answers, then see, is the cover book very interesting? Or are there certain kind of colors that fascinate you? Or maybe book is small or very voluminized. Do you like that? Anything in the book, or if you do not like anything about the book, ask yourself many questions regarding the subject. Oh, there are certain other wonderful things about the subject. Maybe in another chapters it is coming up. So that way, as much as questions you are going to ask yourself, students, it will give you an immediate spark to focus on that particular subject or that particular problem or possibility that you have to rectify. Listening to a new story can attract our attention. Students, you can also create new stories. Supposingly, when I talked about the example when two persons were fighting, immediately craft a story into your mind that, oh, two persons are quarreling with each other, fighting with each other. If I am one of them, how would I solve this problem? That way, you will not only get into creative story making, again, you will have some listening skills also. So there is always a skill, that is 80-20 rule, and I will quickly give that tip to you, that whenever somebody is telling you something which you are not liking, always let them speak 80% and you speak 20%, so that you will be positively engaged. In case if you're not liking something which others are speaking, give them the bracket of 80% speech, so that you do not come up with anything negative, and again you see a possibility of your contribution. Keep busy by taking charge of even the smallest things, such as changing our virtual backgrounds. Oh, that sounds very interesting, students, because now is the online world of teaching and learning. Always do mix and match, that makes you happy. Changing your virtual backgrounds, and I'm sure in gaming also, people must be doing something very creative. Accordingly, it can be your wallpapers also, it can be your screen covers also. Anything that delights you, keep on changing it, because that triggers a new sense of positivity in you. It can be a wallpaper of your favorite character, it can be a wallpaper of an assertive sentence, it can be a wallpaper of your own image also. If you feel you're looking very beautiful and very happy today, click your picture and make it a wallpaper, so that every time you get to see a smiling you, a cheerful you, a happy you, and that is always a positively engaged mindset. Going on to the next slide. Now, students, here comes the last to last slide point. When I told you that you have to give yourself certain claps, one clap or two clap or three clap or four claps. That means, students, we are here now. Let us understand how can we give ourselves one clap, two, three, four, or even five. And then comes the highest one is the six. So here is the concept of six thinking hats. First is the facts. Students, think about the facts in your life. How many facts do you have in your life? Like, you are a trained dancer, or you are a magical mathematician, something related to your studies. Think about the facts where you are two good students. Think about it quickly. That where are the areas? Put it into the chat box. Which is your favorite subject? Where you are doing charismatically beautiful things. You are very good at that subject. Students, put it into the chat box. Which are those subjects that you are very good at, that you are actually doing good over there? Is it English? Is it maths? Is it history? Is it geography? Or is it some creative writing? Or is it some other subject? It can be, along with creative writing, it can be arts also. Like we say that I'm good at painting, or it can be certain hobby. Put it into the chat box, your favorite subject, which you just love simply.
Okay, so we're getting some answers here. Alana says reading, Karan says math, Ahmed says math, Laksh says math. Okay, so a lot of math geniuses here, huh?
Oh, wonderful.
I yeah, we have Jaden saying physical education, Alana saying physical education, Aryan says biology and physics, Soham
Okay.
says math and science.
So, students, have you seen that this is a fact and nobody can change it, that you are good at these subjects or you like these subjects? You are a great mathematician, or you like mathematics, or you like bio, or you like geography. So, this is a fact. Now, if you are clear about what subject do you like, that means you deserve one clap. That one clap is reserved into your quota now, in your pockets and in your wallets. Now, going on with the second one, negative logic. Students, whenever you have a problem, are you able to understand that it is a problem? Or do you think that, there is something that you get confused about? Are you able to differentiate between a problem and a solving thing? Put it into the chat box that whenever there is a problem, are you able to actually understand and analyze that yes, there is a problem and I need to do something to fix it? Put it into the chat box. Are you a problem finder? Are you able to find and understand that yes, there can be certain kind of a problem? If that happens, students, then you can give yourself second clap also, because to solve a problem you have to identify the problem first of all, which is actually needed. The lot of variety of people, lot of majority of people think, they want to basically redo all the things, they want to solve the problems. But the first step towards solving problem is identify the problem. So the negative logic, if you find the problem, then you have two claps into your wallet. Now I will go towards the third one, is creativity. Students, I am talking about the first section of the six thinking hats. We will come to the stepping up later, but focus on this first portion of six thinking hats. Creativity. Students, are you creative? Now, creativity does not only mean that you are good at painting or drawing. It can be anything, students. Even in games also, you can be creative. You can be buying certain gifts from the games by elevating your levels from 1 to 2 to 3 to 60 to 40 and to 100, any number of game level. It can be creativity also, it can be writing also, or maybe it can be decorating, it can be cooking also. Are you able to create something out of whatever is existential, whatever is given to you? Do you create something good out of it? If yes, then you surely deserve three clapping hats. So put it into your wallet, three clapping hats with creativity also. Next, I will come to the emotions. Students, this is the base of positivity. Whenever we talk about being positive in life, emotions play the first ever role, because I told you that when you are positive, share with the world, your family, your peer group, and whenever you are negative, put it into the diary instead of telling it to lot of people, because otherwise they will also get negative along with you, or they will get disturbed. It is always good to communicate when you are not feeling good, but with certain responsible person like your parents, like certain friends of yours. But every time, first important thing is to write it down into the notebook. So are you related to your emotions? Another example is that when we talked about footballs, when we talked about snakes and ladders or storms, or even creativity or colors or even the cupcakes, that time your emotions were coming out. So if you are able to relate your emotions to these words that we talked about in that slide, give another clap to yourself. That makes you competent for four claps. Students, keep surely into your mind how many claps are you giving, because we are just going to evaluate it. Now, coming to the fifth point, students, that is positive thinking. Now, everybody has seen in the first and the second slide that you talked about prefixes with your names, and you've talked about a lot of qualities of your parents, that you have honest parents, understanding parents, fun loving parents, and very hardworking parents. So, that was the positivity that you see around yourself. If you're able to see good qualities in your parents or in your friends or in your siblings, your brothers or sisters, yet another clap for you. Makes it five claps for you, student. So now, students, quickly put it into the chat box. Now, how many claps do you give it to yourself? One or two or three or four or five? Now, this is a very important segment, because now you have an assessment how to give yourself how many claps. Put it into the chat box. How many claps out of five thinking hats? We will come to the sixth one, but out of five thinking hats, now how many are you offering yourself? Now,
Okay, so Alana is saying 4 claps. Ahmed says 4.5. Karan says 5. Aryan says 4, and Laksh says 5.5.
oh, now, students, that is wonderful, because I'm going to talk about the sixth thinking hat, that's control. Now, control is the control of your life, students. When you have your emotions intact, when you recognize problem and you know the negative logic out of it, when you clear about the facts, when you have a positive thinking, and when you are creative, then the control of your life surely happens. Students, as it is a recorded session, so surely you can go to the slide some other day and take a clip of this hats rating, which will always remind you how to give yourself 6-star rating, 6 hats rating, which will define the path in your life. Whenever you will get negative in your life, check out these hats and see which one is missing. Is creativity missing in your life? Is positive thinking missing in your life? Are certain facts which you are not aware of in your life, or you are not able to identify a problem for the negative logic, or you are not able to understand your own emotions? You will be quickly able to stitch it and fix it, so that again you become positive, and you have all those 5 hats leading to the sixth controlled hat in your life. So, self development and success together, a cause and effect generated from positivity, and that is due to all these emotions clubbed together. So, that was about thinking hats. Great things to have come across your answers also. And now I am going to another slide, which is concept slide, the perspective slide. Students, Now, when we have talked that we have discussed a lot about positive mindsets, let us see what is our perspective. Are we really positive at this moment and somebody else is not? Like when we say we are positive, then the other person is negative. But there is always a possibility that both of you are positive. Now, look at this photograph. Look at this image, students. There is a six from the person standing on one side, but there is a nine for the person standing on the other side. That means just because you are right does not mean that the other person is wrong. You just haven't seen life from other side. That means whenever somebody is trying to tell you something which you think is not correct, think about 6 and 9 concept. Always have you and I concept in your mind. You can note it down into your minds also, that to have a very beautiful relationship with everybody, especially think of certain classmates or schoolmates or peer mates with whom you are not very good at, with whom you think that there is certain challenge in life. With that, always come across you and I concept, that I can be right, the other can person can be right too. If I am seeing a 6, the other person might be seeing a 9. So that will actually change your entire perspective and it will make you positive that you are right, but at the same time, the other person can also be right. That is the perspective, the positive perspective in life. Going on to the next one is the last one. Again, how do we actually see the activity for perspective? Students, see this particular image. In first image, you'll be able to see that a person is able to see a boat because he doesn't want to get drowned in the water. And the moment he sees a boat, oh my God, what a thrill of positivity in life he gets. And in the last image or in the second image, you would actually see, students, that a person is able to see land. So for both the persons, the person who is in the boat, he is looking for land, but the person who's stuck in that island or in that treetop, he's looking for a boat. Both of them are looking for a life changing moment. This is known as perspective. You can be the person who wants a boat, you can be the person in the boat who wants to see the land. So, positivity leads to positive perspective. And this is very important over here, that whenever we have certain differences with our parents or with our friends, or especially with our siblings, with our brothers and sisters, when we come across a lot of problems, always see that there is a possibility of contribution and change your perspective. Again, I will repeat, have you and I concept. In that concept, what will you come across, students? You will surely come across that you are at a 6 stage, but the person might be seeing a 9 stage. So, again, both of you can be correct. Handle the issues very sensitively, very beautifully with a positive mindset. Coming to the last slide of this session, students, and where we will have an overlap of it and quickly summarize that. In case if we talk about being so positive, what are the real good results for that, students? The overall purpose to being positive is develop interpersonal skills by staying positive. Students, right now, I just talked about a lot of relationships where there can be improvement with your parents, with your peer group, with your friends, or it can be anybody whom you think you do not have a very healthy relationship with. So, when you become positive, you share positive affirmations, you share assertive sentences with everybody, and you look at the problems as possibilities. That means you are developing interpersonal skills by staying positive. Second is develop new skill sets, and get ready to learn new things every day. Students, whenever I talk about creativity, again, I will explain that it is not only drawing and painting or colors or crafts. It is anything which you add on to the existing thing. If you are given a challenge or a possibility or a problem, how would you solve it? Or if you are given a drawing, then what additions can you make? Supposingly, if you tend to draw or you are asked to draw a beautiful scene, you may draw good mountains, very beautiful green pictures around it, certain swimming pool around it also, or maybe lakes or rivers as a matter of natural adjustments to the scenery. So that means any addition which you do to your creativity is a new skill set. And I will repeat here a quick point that I have told you to keep on asking yourself a lot of questions in the form of questions. Whenever there is a problem, ask, oh, is it an interrogative situation? Is it a fun loving situation that I can actually draw certain fun out of it? Or is it a challenging situation? Is it a situation where I need certain skills improvement? Always keep on asking questions to yourself to develop new skill sets. Thirdly, start developing a healthy attitude towards problem solving. I'm very sure that whenever you will see problem solving as a possibility of contribution, you are going to develop a healthy attitude. And lastly, the success in any work you do depends on a great extent on your belief. Students, you would agree with me that if you have a perspective or a thought that you want to change a thing and you don't want to be negative all the day, you want to be positive and you want to solve the problem, surely a recovery and a change will come in your mind, body, and spirit. So, welcome to this world of positivity where you can practice lot of affirmations and a lot of positive qualities which you want to have in yourself that other people have, and share your positivity with the world around you. And whenever it is negative, put it into a diary or a notebook. So I suppose you have gone through a lot of quick tips today and a lot of small techniques which I have asked you to apply. Never forget those thinking hats, students, where you can always think about those five thinking hats, which will lead to the sixth thinking hat of controlling your life and making it very beautiful and positive. And along with that, always have a you and I concept in your mind, which means a perspective of yours is good and the other one is also good. So, with that, I summarize and I hand it over to Mihir. Mihir, all over to you. And it was very happy session with everybody, and I loved all the questions and answers that have come. Questions have come from me, and answers have come from students. So, congratulates yourself, students, and have a pat with all the five thinking hats in your wallet. Thank you.
Absolutely, Sonica. That was a fantastic session today. And just to conclude, before we close the session today, I'd like to talk a bit more about the Innovator program. Apart from the STEAM learning curriculum and our one-to-one private sessions and classroom sessions, we also offer private sessions and expert sessions, college admissions counseling, and resume writing, which is crucial. We also guide and provide public speaking opportunities. We have already started our video creation series. Again, the third video lesson will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I can't wait for you guys to be there. And I think for Eastern time, that would be 1 p.m. And this basically the video creation series that we have started. It's with Nick Paquette, who is a very well-known video creator in California, and he will help you learn more about shooting videos, writing a script, planning video delivery, video production, and more. In a nutshell, this is what our Innovator program offers. Other than the weekend group sessions going on right now, we also have industry expert sessions, one-to-one sessions, and a art program that we currently plan to introduce for our US and Canada based students. Shortly, we will also start a creative writing session, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, like I said, this is tomorrow's schedule. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 10 a.m. Pacific Time, the video lesson 3 will be going on. So you're free to join that. And again, thank you so much for an amazing session, Sonica. I'm pretty sure everyone enjoyed it, and it really gave us insight on how being positive can really change a person's outlook in life and how it can make things better for everyone around them, too. Thank you for providing this opportunity to our students attending this session today. And if you have any questions or concerns regarding our program, or if you have any feedback regarding this session or any other session that you've attended, please feel free to write to us at inquiry@moonshotjunior.com, or you can call us on the number below. And I think that would be about it. So let's conclude today's session. Thank you for attending, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, students. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.